Let's go to Purdue. So we'll
Mhm.
we'll go to the Big Ten. Barry Odom comes over from UNLV. He was 19-8 over 2 years there, which that had been such a hard place to win, which is kind of shocking considering it's Las Vegas, but they had only been to one bowl game in the previous 20 years. They believed that they could be relevant in college football. That was the pitch to him. It worked. They won 9-10 games. They were a factor in the Mountain West race. So it was incredible success for him as he became a head coach again. And then Purdue makes a change with Ryan Walters not working out, and they go with Barry Odom again, who has experience as a head coach in the SEC, and then obviously fresh off of UNLV. I like this hire. I think he is like a really, really good coach. I think he makes good hires. He had just spent some time with him when he first got to UNLV about walking into that challenge and like eyes wide open of exactly what he needed to do and how to do it. So I really like this move for Purdue. I think that Purdue is a hard job. I think a lot of that kind of tier in the Big Ten got harder when you added the 4 West Coast schools. But I like this hire. I like the experienced, and I like the way he's building his staff.
I'm totally there with you. I actually had a chance to catch up with Barry Odom right after he was hired by Purdue, and we talked about the challenge of being there, and I think he understands what that is, and he's confident in his skill set because, to your point, he is a great builder, but he's also just a really good ball coach, like a good teacher, guy who knows how to recruit and develop, and to get guys to go out and execute on the field. And then we talked about the other part of what makes it hard at Purdue is like, what do you do with the roster? How do you get players? And he's like, we came right in and had very hard conversations with people that were on the roster. And he's like, we know that there are guys that we want to keep here, and we'd love to be able to keep everybody here, but we got to turn this thing over as well. And so we're trying to find that balance. And so I think that's probably going to be the biggest challenge for Barry Odom, is finding the right players to fit into his system and getting those guys to want to commit to being at Purdue. We've seen this is also a place for Purdue where, you might get a guy who ends up being one of the best at his position, maybe a safety or a tight end, and schools in conference might come and get him out of the portal when things happen, right? But ultimately, I really like this. I think Barry Odom is the right kind of ball coach for this spot because he knows how to deal with being at a difficult place, a very challenging place to build. We've seen him do it before, and I think he's up to the challenge here.
Yeah, I do too. And listen, Purdue has great success at the end of the Jeff Brom era. They were in the Big Ten championship game. I think life is a little more difficult with Indiana's emergence for Purdue. I don't think that helps, and just how quick that turnaround was under Kurt Signetti. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this goes. Year one for Barry Odom. Again, he turned things around at UNLV a lot faster than even most people expected. He brought over Josh Henson from USC to be his offensive coordinator, because obviously he's more of a defensive guy.